Shalom, Israel. It's your boy New Breed coming through with another video. This particular topic here is quite interesting and retrospective, to say the least. First and foremost, shout out to Brother Ike. Brother Ike inboxed me about this topic and wanted me to expound upon it. He inboxed me right here on Patreon. So I want you all to take that as an opportunity. If you have a topic, feel free to hit me up in the inbox. Take advantage of the somewhat small audience here on Patreon, because pretty soon it's going to grow and it's going to be more difficult to keep up with the inboxes. So if you got a topic that you want me to expound upon, go ahead and hit me up. But what I wanted to talk about is amusement parks. I want to talk about the psychology behind amusement parks. I want to talk about the dangers. And I want to specifically focus on Disneyland. I'm going to go into the history of amusement parks. I'm going to talk about Walt Disney himself. And this lesson right here is going to be real eye-opening and revealing. And it's going to make you look at society differently. And it's going to make you take some things into consideration when it comes to what we do for entertainment. All right. Now, I'm going to just be honest with you. I've never really supported amusement parks like that. That was never really my scene. At the very least, I would attend Six Flags during the summer as a teenager. You know, you got all the ladies out. It's nice outside. You know, you want to go out there and see what's popping. But in my adult life, I never really took my children to amusement parks. I never really enjoyed amusement parks in my adult life. I never really liked them. You know, there's probably quite a few reasons why I never really embraced amusement parks in my adult life. Once you get a little bit older, you become more conscious, aware, and cognitive of all your surroundings. And when you look at it, there's a lot of hazards with these amusement rides in particular, even at water parks. Then you got language barriers of people from foreign countries who are working the rides and concession stands a lot of the times. There's always a failure to enforce ride rules and regulations, especially that height minimum for roller coasters. And it's excessively crowded. These parks be crowded, man. You got these long ass lines that you got to wait in with a lack of hand and rail safety. When you get a little bit older, you just ain't got time for that, man. But recently, I've been digging beneath the surface of amusement parks, understanding the psychology of amusement parks. Why was amusement parks even created? What is it about? What is the origins of amusement parks? And, you know, I uncovered some things that I would like to share with you all, because this will give you even more reason why not to take your children to these particular parks. Now, I believe that this is a timely topic because we are at the end of a quarantine and a lockdown, and things are beginning to incrementally open back up. And I'm pretty sure that eventually water parks and amusement parks will be opening up as well. And people are probably biting at the heel to get to one of these amusement parks. And to be clear, when I speak about amusement parks, I'm speaking about theme parks as well, okay? Because there's a lot of psychology that goes behind these theme parks, especially at Disneyland. And you know, everybody loves Disneyland. Everybody goes there to get their daily dose of satanic animation, surrealistic sci-fi, horror, and witchcraft. But I'll talk about that more momentarily. First and foremost, let's go into the definition of amusement parks. Let's go into a bit of history, and we're going to utilize Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. An amusement park is a park that features various attractions, such as rides and games, as well as other events for entertainment purposes. A theme park is a type of amusement park that bases its structure and attraction around a central theme, often featuring multiple areas with different themes. Unlike temporary and mobile fun fairs and carnivals, amusement parks are stationary and built for long-lasting operation. They are more elaborate than the city park and playground, usually providing attractions that cater to varieties of age groups. While amusement parks often contain themed areas, theme parks place a heavier focus with more intricately designed themes that revolve around a particular subject or subjects. Now, with that being said, I want you to focus on the theme of Disneyland in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, Disneyland is all about magic, enchantment, sorcery, wizardry. See, the theme of Disneyland is witchcraft, and you need to understand the effect that has on a young child's mind, because that's the target. See, young children are absolutely more absorbent. Their mind has an extraordinary capability to absorb information, especially from the environment that they are in. Studies have shown that certain parts of the brain will not develop without stimulation during their early years. They call these the informative years. The child absorbs these impressions, not with his mind, but with his life itself. So what these theme parks do essentially to a young child is create a fantasy realm. It creates a great deal of misdirected energy and escapism. And that's why a lot of teenagers grow and they start to delve into witchcraft, magic, and sorcery. It's all psychology. See, it's a lot deeper than you think. CIA operatives came together to come up with these amusement parks to destroy the people. And I mean that mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let's talk about physically what these amusement parks are designed to do. Now I'm going to go to some interesting facts here. We're going to go to WebMD. That's where we're going to go, WebMD. And this is the heads up on roller coasters. This is quite interesting right here, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to see what these people put in place for us to destroy us. The heads up on roller coasters, August 15th, 2000. Middle-aged thrill seekers may want to skip the new breed of faster and steeper roller coaster rides when they visit amusement parks, said by Italian researchers. If a recent patient that examined is a barometer of the effects of the coasters, they just may cause bleeding in the brain or other brain injuries. Now, first and foremost, if it's dangerous for a middle-aged person, what do you think the effects on a child would be? A child that's not physically as stronger. A child that's not mentally as strong. What do you believe the effects would be? See, they don't want to outright tell you that these roller coasters are causing brain issues. And this is according to Italian researchers. They tested some people. They said, look, if this is the barometer of what roller coasters are going to do moving forward on the turn of the millennium or the turn of the century, then you know what? These roller coasters are dangerous. Let me continue. In the August 14th edition of the Journal of the American Medical Association, physicians tell of an otherwise healthy 47-year-old male who developed severe nausea, dizziness, after riding a high-speed roller coaster that swung him violently numerous times during the ride. Not terribly concerned at the time, within a week he suffered severe headaches as well as nausea and vomiting. When his symptoms continued for 4 days, the University of Florence Hospital admitted him for tests. A scan of his head showed he had bleeding in 2 areas of his brain. He received treatment for a week and was discharged from the hospital, complaining of only a mild headache. And ladies and gentlemen, who knows what permanent damage was caused to this man's brain? I'm pretty sure his equilibrium was knocked out of course, being tossed violently by this roller coaster. And it's amazing that this is what people do for amusement. We got to thrill seek. It kind of reminds me in the Bible when Christ was tempted by Satan when he was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, and Satan told him to jump off the mountain that the angels would catch him. Because that's the same thing that happens when you get on these roller coasters or you get on these rides that lift you up about 1,000 feet in the air and drop you randomly. You're putting full trust and submission in what they built. You're putting your trust in man. Although something can go wrong. you can die. And notice that Christ, he didn't jump off. He didn't jump off the mountain. And he probably could have. The angels would have ministered to him. The angels would have caught him. But he ain't out here trying to thrill seek. He not out here trying to prove a point. Because, you know, that's frivolousness. That's folly in the Most High's eyes. And there's no reason why a 47-year-old man wants to get on a roller coaster and drop 1,000 feet from the air. And if it's going to damage a middle-aged man, then it's going to have the same damage on a child, if not worse. These people don't care about you. These are weapons set up to shift the minds of the people. The theme parks are psychology. And we're going to get into more of this psychology that's behind amusement parks. The whole entertainment factor of it all and what it means. But first off, let's go more into the origins. Now I'm back on Wikipedia. Let's talk about the origins of these amusement parks. Amusement parks evolved from European fairs, pleasure gardens, and large picnic areas. Let's stop there for a moment. First and foremost, I'm not European, and I don't know what kind of pleasures they was getting into in those gardens in Europe. But I will tell you the origin of picnics for those that don't know. Just so you'll know. Information is power. Picnic is short for pick a nigger. That's right. Picnic was a shortening of pick a nigger, and referred to an outdoor community gathering during which families ate from boxed lunches while a randomly chosen black man was hanged for dinner. It was entertainment. The word was originally derived from the term pickanig. Pickanig was a gathering for slave traders and their families back in the 17th/18th centuries. They would get together after slave trading and have a big party called a pickanig. So you got to understand that back in the 17th and 1800s, lynchings were a very social occasion. All right, people gathered, people ate, people were entertained by lynchings. Yes, it's a harsh reality. It's an unspoken truth that these amusement parks derived from picnics and pleasure gardens, and it's European in its nature. And I personally am not supporting amusement parks for that very reason as well. Here's an interesting tidbit of information. Did you all know that America almost had a Disney theme park with slavery? Yeah, some of the first shareholders had a meeting in the 90s. Iser announced that Disney World would add up to nearly 50 new attractions to their parks, and a slavery theme was one of them. And this is according to AtlantisObscura.com. You gotta be symbol literate. When you look at the Walt Disney signature or trademark, you can see 666 right in the trademark. It's right there for you. They always hide things in plain sight. Walt Disney himself was a Luciferian. He was a Satanist. He put all types of hidden messages within the cartoons. A lot of perverted sexual messages as well. Knowing that our children can absorb information by what they feel, what they see, there's parts of their brains operating and collecting data and information that do not even operate in our brains. So the hidden messages are becoming part of them. And they have changed society with this witchcraft that they utilize. Stop supporting Walt Disney. Stop supporting the theme parks. Stop supporting the amusement parks. Amusement parks and theme parks are all set up by design. They were set up by CIA operatives. It is a psychosomatic counterintelligence program to keep you in a fantasy realm, to keep you entertained. That's what they were created for, ladies and gentlemen. And the Freemasons who drew the blueprints for these roller coasters, they understand the damage that it causes internally in your brain. They know that it has a lifetime effect. Also, some of these roller coasters are designed to smash some of your organs together and move your organs out of place. and cause real problems within your body, not just your brain. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a reference on that. I want you to go to www.wlrn.org. And this is all according to Michael Longley. When it comes to your organs, what can happen? The name of the article is Tossed Internal Organs and Other Fun Ways Roller Coasters Affect Us. So all you mothers and fathers out there, I know that this lockdown has been strenuous. I know that your children have been out of school. Summertime is here. Things are opening back up. You want to show your children a good time. I'm here to let you know that the amusement parks are not the way to go. All right? They're just not the way to go. As of now, this video is exclusive for my Patreons, but in the near future, I will release this video to YouTube as well, because I feel like the masses of people need to know this information. I also received some information, and I'm just going to say allegedly when I address this information, that they are tweaking their roller coasters, the carousels, and every other contraption that they got in these amusement parks to create a higher death toll, to create more damage within the body. So you got to be wise out here. You got to maneuver very smart. And this particular video is exclusive to my Patreons as of now. But in the near future, I will release this video on YouTube because I want to warn the masses. I want to warn the masses. And I know people are going to be chopping at the ankles. People can't wait to get out and venture out and have a good time. Just don't do it with these amusement parks. But hopefully this video helped you out in your walk and your journey. Thank you for watching. With that being said, shalom and peace.